Hi y'all, welcome back to the channel. I hope you all are doing really, really well. Today I am going to be back in San Myshuno doing another apartment renovation. This apartment is 19 Culpeper House. I think I'm reading that right. My screen is a little bit tiny, but it is in the house. I think there's 4 different apartments that you can renovate in here. This one is a 2-bed, 1-bath house, and I manipulated the floor plan just a little bit, but I didn't do too much. The master bedroom in this apartment was massive, so I took it down a little bit. You can't exactly see from where I'm at right now, but I do bring it a little bit, make it a little bit smaller, and then I put in a little computer nook and a place for a bookshelf, and open up the way to the porch. So the way to the porch in the original floor plan was through the master bedroom, which I didn't really like, so I made it to come out through that little nook where the computer and stuff is. So I hope you enjoyed this build. I had a really fun time doing it. This build also uses primarily Parenthood items. I did a little poll on my Instagram, and a lot of people wanted me to do apartment renovations using maybe 1 or 2 item packs. So that's primarily what you're going to see. But I love Parenthood, so that wasn't really a problem. I do use some city living items simply so that because we're in an apartment, and I do use base game as well. So I mean, you might see me using a couple things here and there. I didn't stick strictly to those packs, but primarily that's the kind of stuff that I'm going to use. But anyway, I've talked over me making the kitchen. Anyway, so here, this is the kitchen coming together. I used the gray swatch for the cabinets with the white top, and then I used the Parenthood refrigerator and the stove. I put a few clutter items in. I didn't want to make it too overboard since I imagine that this is a family apartment, so it's 2 parents and then 2 daughters, and the 2 daughters will be sharing a room. But anyway, just putting in a little bit of lighting. It was really funny. I realized that the lighting here was so yellow and dingy, and I was like, what is wrong with it? Why does it look this way? And I realized that I was using the kids saucer lights instead of the other saucer lights, so you'll probably see me swoop in and fix that. But anyway, putting a few clutter items around and about. I made that little island in the kitchen right there, and then I picked that yellow and gray rug. That's kind of the swatch that I go for. I use a lot of grays, a lot of yellows, and like some lighter brown woods, like the floor right there. So I think it ends up looking really sweet, and I love that tile backsplash that I got with the Parenthood pack. The colors fit perfectly. I love how it looks, and I had no trouble carrying the gray through the rest of the house. But anyway, just trying to experiment with some dining tables. I ended up going with that little square one and only putting 4 seats around. I thought it made more sense than a big long one. However, there's like plenty of room in there to make a dining table, but I think it ends up looking really cute. I do change the swatch out on the table to make the yellow a little bit more vibrant. You'll see me do that after I finish the living room, but moving on to the living space, use those couches from Parenthood. I was really hoping that we would have a swatch that was gray couches with yellow pillows, but it didn't exactly work out that way. So I ended up just going with gray. I hope it's not too much gray in this house. If you think it's too much gray, let me know. I do use quite a bit of gray. But then I included those 2 little chairs that we also got from Parenthood. They have a little bit of pink in them, which doesn't exactly fit, but it's not terrible. I wish we had more swatches of those chairs because they're so cute. It's just kind of hard to match colors sometimes. But I go ahead and I put in a little TV stand and a television, and then I'm trying to figure out what lamps are going to work. I really struggle with the tall lamps. It's really hard for me to find ones that I like, especially ones that came with Parenthood and City Living. So I ended up just going with that plain one from Base Game. But then I put in a couple of little tables on the side of the couches, and then I will put in some lamps as well. I toyed around with the idea of curtains a lot. I love those sheer curtains from Parenthood, but they were clipping into the couch a little bit, and they just looked really funny. So I think I end up just going without curtains for this build. I think I might put some in the parents' room actually. But other than that, I pretty much just go without it. I don't know. Curtains are a hit or miss for me, but I put some little bit of artwork on the walls, and I do clutter up the living room a little bit just to make it look like it's lived in with kids. So I put a lot of kid clutter in here and there. So I imagine that the parents, one is the dad who works from home, I imagine, and then I imagine the mom is an artist. So you'll see me put a lot of paint things in her room specifically and a few things out on the patio. And then for the 2 daughters, one is a child and one is a teenager. So I made the theme of their room cohesive, like the colors, but I've switched the furniture up a little bit. So I don't know. I think they're a really sweet family. I'm really excited to build or create them and play around with them. But you see me putting a couple of little plants in to kind of make it a little more homey, and a couple of books, and that toy chest item that we got from Parenthood. It's so cute. I don't think it actually functions as a toy chest though. I think it's just for decoration. But either way, it's very sweet. I did size it down though to make it fit a little bit better, and I put those little school binders on the bottom shelf. I thought that looked really sweet, and some CDs and a stereo down on the bottom. So I think that looks really nice. You will see me put some clutter on top of that coffee table. I use the I think it's just called kid stuff clutter. It's got like a backpack and like some like socks and just like toys and things like that. I put it on the coffee table because if you don't have a messy coffee table, then what are you doing? You're not living in your space. So anyway, I will put that in later, but I am moving on to the little computer nook area over here. I used just the plain desk that we got from Base Game and just the plain computer chair. I felt like that would work. And then I put a computer on there and a couple of clutter items. And I also put that bookshelf in. I think that's also from Parenthood. I have it in the swatch with the like reddish wood tones in there that you can see, but I think I ended up switching it out for white. Just wanted to make it match a little bit better, but putting up some paintings and artwork around. And I also, behind the computer, I placed this one at the kitchen, but I also put in the like family hobby board and like all of that stuff. And I put in a cork board and went through the debug menu to try to find some little postcards to put on there. I really like this area of the house. I think it looks really sweet, and I think it really works for apartment living, especially for a family and for a sim who works from home. I also put a little journal in there just in case. Then putting in a little plant, and I think that's pretty much it for that little area over there. Just adjusting the cabinets. They looked a little bit low for me, but I think they're fine. And then I make a little entryway in here. I just put my staples, a mirror, a coat rack, a welcome mat, all of that stuff. I put in a little entry table also, and I think I put that in right now. I put in a little entry table, and I put a science project on it. I imagine that either the teenager or the child sim, probably the child sim, is really, really into science and really does really well in school. So I wanted to like give her a little space to like, this is where she works on her art projects or where she displays her art projects that didn't exactly fit in her bedroom. But anyway, I'm moving on to the parents' room. I don't remember what pack this bed came with. It might be Base Game, actually. But I ended up going with it just because I felt like the gray colors and the light woods worked really well. And then I put in a couple of side tables, and then I'm going to start decking their room out. It's huge. It's a really big room for an apartment, and this is scaled down. This is a scaled down room. So if you can imagine this room stretching all the way to the brick wall over there, that's how big this room was. Like, it's unnecessary for an apartment. I believe I keep those sheer curtains in. I might take them out. I can't remember, but I did want to put them, set them up with a dresser and a really pretty mirror, and I do make a little sitting area for them on the side. I also put the mom, since I'm going to give her the artist career, I put some canvases in there for her and some paint cans, and I also make sure to decorate with art that I feel like she's made. So I think it's I don't remember what it came with. It probably came with City Living, actually, but it's the study of the human form artwork that goes on the walls. I put some of that in there. There we go. I put a couple of different colors in there and then put a painting in the middle. And I think it looks really cute. I also like this little sitting area. I use the same chairs that I use in the living room. I think it matches. I have a little bit of trouble with my controller dying, but if you saw that pop up, but yeah, there we go. But I do get it fixed. Just putting that painting in the middle. And then her drawings on the side. I really struggle with artwork in this. I struggle with artwork in a lot of my builds most of the time because I feel like unless you're going with like certain themes, it's hard to find things. But I wanted to have like a really big painting above their bed. I think it works okay. It's a little bit colorful for the type of build that I'm doing, but it's all right. And then I put a couple clutter items on their dresser, and you saw me place that kid clutter on the coffee table, and there I am placing the canvases on in their bedroom. And it took me ages to find the paint cans, but I finally end up finding the paint cans to put next to it. I should have put a tarp underneath. I meant to, and I think I've forgotten. But anyway, I'm going to move on to the kids' room now. For the two daughters, I gave them very similar beds. These came with Parenthood, I believe. I gave them very similar beds, just in a couple of different swatches, one for more like a little girl and then one for more like a teenager. And I gave them that little pink side table, which I think is so cute, and then a little teal and pink rug underneath. And I kind of went crazy with the posters and clutter items in the kids' room. I love to do kids' rooms. I don't do them very often. They're kind of difficult for me, but I do enjoy doing them. I put some posters up to cater for the teenager on the right, and then the child sim on the left. Give her that cute little tiger tiger chair and a slides down dollhouse and that little pink dresser. I think it's so cute. I did give the teen sim her own computer desk and chair, and I also gave her some digital cameras, so I imagine that she's pretty artistic and she's very into photography. It's a little budding hobby of hers, so I put that in there and a couple other posters just to liven up the walls just a little bit. I give them a very large, I don't remember what it's called, but it's like a Harry Potter parody poster in there. And I put both of their backpacks by the door. I thought that was really cute. And a couple of little like toys and decorations for the child sim. I also placed their lunch boxes throughout the house. And then there's a cork board. And I put a few other things in here. I put that like sort of bridge construction school project in there. And I also put a violin. I'm not sure which one of these two Sims is going to be into the violin, but I thought it would be nice to give them a little bit of a music skill, just something for them to occupy themselves. And I put a few like makeup items around for the teen Sim. I put some nail polish and some perfumes. And that's pretty much it for the kids' room. I think I leave it like that. And then I end up going on to the bathroom. Now, this bathroom is pretty small, but it's big enough to have a tub shower and a very big counter. So I think it's pretty good for one bathroom in an apartment. I think these 4 Sims are going to be fine in here. But yeah, just putting in a counter and that really nice sink from Parenthood. I don't use that often, but I ended up using it for this one. Put in a few clutter items around and about, a couple of robes, and that over the toilet organizer from Parenthood. And this is me finally realizing that the lighting is wrong. So doesn't this look so much better? But then I placed that this is from Seasons, but it's so cute and I've been waiting for an opportunity to use it. So I do put that item from Seasons in the living room. And then just going through the debug menu and finding a couple of other things that would look really cute. There's a craft box that I put in there. And then I also put the like kids vase art project on the dad's desk. So I thought that was really sweet. And then putting, like I said, the robes in there and a plant in the bathroom. And then I do adjust them to make them look a little bit better on the counters. And then that's pretty much it for the bathroom. And then I'm going to move outside to the patio for the final room in this house. So yeah, going outside to the patio, I pretty much just put a couple of chairs and a chess table and a plant and a candle just to make it really sweet. Make it really cozy and inviting, a nice place for the family to live. And I really like the Christmas lights that I end up putting out here. I think it's going to look really nice, especially at night. I'm really excited to make these Sims. I can't wait to see what they end up looking like, but putting some plants out there, and I use those really cool planter boxes that we got from City Living. I don't know, they might be herbs. It might just be like where flowers eventually pop up, but I'm not too picky about it. And that will pretty much get me to the end of this build once I put these lights up here, and I might do a couple of finishing touches, but I think that's pretty much it. So I really appreciate you all watching. I want to thank you all. I made my subscriber goal for this week of 15, so thank you all so much for helping me do that. Thank you for all the love that I've been getting on my videos. It really, really means a lot to me. I just appreciate you all watching and for coming back to my videos time and time again. You all are fabulous. I hope you all have a wonderful day, and thank you all so much for watching, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye, guys.